Math Humans. We're going to do C2 today. We're going to be talking about graphs of linear functions. Our objectives are that we're going to find a table of values, then plot the ordered pairs, and then we're going to chat about labeling. So for our first example, example number 1, it says for the given linear function, and remember a linear function has a degree of 1, complete the table of values, plot the ordered pairs, and then graph and label. All right, lots of words to write. So the equation that we're going to be given is y is equal to 3x minus 2. And here's going to be my table of values. So I'm going to leave us some room to work. So this is our y, which was 3x minus 2. And then at the very end, we're going to write another section, and we're going to call it our ordered pair. And you don't have to do this piece, but the reason that we do it just makes it a little bit easier to collect your information as you get ready to put it on a graph. So if I choose negative 3 for my x value, and I substitute it into my function, it's going to be 3 times a negative 3 minus 2. And when I do that math, I'm going to get a negative 11. And so the ordered pair is a negative 3, negative 11. Okay? My next x value is going to be a negative 2, and I'm going to substitute it into the equation. So 3 times a negative 2 minus 2. And when I do that math, a negative 6 minus 2 is a negative 8. And then my ordered pair for this one is a negative 2, negative 8. And then I'm going to have a 0. When I substitute that in, I get 3 times 0 minus 2. So 0 minus 2 is a negative 2. So I'm going to get 0, negative 2. And then the last point that we're going to do would be substituting in a 2. So 3 times 2 minus 2, 6 minus 2 is 4. So then this ordered pair becomes 2, 4. Okay? I think I can squeeze my graph in over here. So when I do my graph, okay, my biggest y value is a negative 11, and my biggest x value is 3. So I'm going to go 1, 2, 3, 4. You have to label at least one value on each axis. My y-axis, I'm going to give a different scale. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. There's a negative 11. And then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We'll put a 5 up there. Okay? So now I can plot my points. A negative 3, negative 11 would be right here. Okay? A negative 2, negative 8. So 11, 10, 9, 8 is going to be right here. 0, negative 2 is right here. And then 2 and then 4 is going to be right there. I would advise you to use a straight edge. Your ID is a great straight edge because it's nice and short. I don't seem to have a straight edge handy, so I'm going to attempt to connect my dots, put arrows on my graph, and then that shows that the graph continues forever. Okay? So that would be graphing. Typically, I would tell you that we want to label points when they cross the x-axis. I don't know this point exactly, and I'm going to assume that my graph isn't perfect, so I'm just going to label that negative 2. I have one number on each axis, so I'm good to go. Okay. Example number 2, it says graph the equation. And we're going to graph it a little bit differently by using x and y intercepts. This is actually one of my favorite ways to graph a line because 2 points define a line. So the x-intercept is 1 point, the y-intercept is 1 point. Graph 2 points, connect the dots, ta-da, done. So my equation is going to be 4x minus 2y is equal to 12. So if you'll remember, the x-intercept means that y is equal to 0. This particular book that we're working with in the worksheets calls this the horizontal intercept, either is okay. So if I let y equal 0, I get 4x minus 2 times 0 is equal to 12. 2 times 0 is 0. So then I get 4x is equal to 12. Divide both sides of the equation by 4, and I get x is equal to 3. So that means that my x-intercept is going to be 3, 0. So then I'm going to do the y-intercept, and that's when x is equal to 0. And this particular worksheet will call this the vertical intercept. Either is okay. I don't care what you refer to it as. Y-intercept has less letters to write, so that's why I tend to use that. So if x is equal to 0, it's going to be 4 times 0 minus 2 times y is equal to 12. This is 0. I'm going to divide both sides of the equation by a negative 2, and I get y is 12 divided by a negative 2 is a negative 6. So my y-intercept is going to be 0, negative 6. Okay, let me do our graph here. So as I draw my little coordinate system, x was 1, 2, 3. I'm going to label that one, and I'm going to put a dot. My y-intercept was a negative 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'm going to label that one, put a dot. 2 dots define a line. I'm going to connect the dots, draw the line, and I'm done. I do not care if you don't put extra tick marks here or extra tick marks here. I have tick marks and values on each axis, so I would be a happy camper. Okay? Alrighty, I have another couple of examples for us, and then we're done for today. Example 3, this is another method for graphing lines. So this problem says, given the slope and a point on the line, graph the line. Okay? All right, so we're going to be given, we're going to do 2 of these. So the first one, the slope is 2, and that means that this is technically 2 over 1. Okay, so that I have a y and an x, and the point that the graph is going to go through is a negative 4, 0. Okay, so I'm going to start with the point. So my point was 1, 2, 3, 4, a negative 4. Somebody loves me. And then I have values on this axis. So I'm going to start here, and I'm going to go up 1, 2 over 1. There's my second point. So I went up 2 because it's positive for the slope, right 1 because it's positive. I'm going to connect the dots, and then there would be my line. Okay, so it's actually really pretty nice. All right, for the second part of this example, your slope is going to be a negative 3/2, and your point is going to be the same point, negative 4, 0. So again, when I start doing the problem, I'm going to plot the point first. So I'm going to have 1, 2, 3, 4. So there's my negative 4. Put my arrows on. And then I'm going to go down. So I'm going to draw some numbers down here. If I'm starting here at negative 4, 0, I'm going to go down 1, 2, 3. So down 1, 2, 3, and right 2. So I'm going to go right here. Okay, so I went down 1, 2, 3, and right 2. Notice that only one of these numbers is negative. The top number, y, is negative. I think it's easier if you make y negative instead of x, because remember, this could also be done 3 over a negative 2. I like to make the y negative because I think it makes the graphing easier. I have 2 points. 2 points define a line, connect my dots, add my arrows, and ta-da, I am all done. Alrighty, that is it for today. That was nice and short. I will see you soon.